There's a number shining through, a light to guide your way. Call 988.
Thank you for joining me. My name is Darcy Lee. I'm the Executive Director of Samaritans Southcoast and your host of the 988 Carecast. Every day, our crisis counselors answer the 988 Lifeline, providing hope and support for people who are struggling. But as we hold space for others, it's important to talk about something that can quietly affect helpers, caregivers, and crisis counselors alike: secondary trauma. Secondary trauma, sometimes called vicarious trauma or compassion fatigue, doesn't come from living through a traumatic event yourself, but from hearing about or witnessing the trauma of others. For those of us on the hotlines, sitting with someone's pain, listening to their story, and walking alongside them in their hardest moments can leave an imprint. So what does secondary trauma look like? It can show up in a lot of ways: feeling emotionally drained after calls, having trouble sleeping, feeling overly anxious, or even finding yourself carrying the weight of callers' stories long after hanging up. It can affect your mood, your relationships, and even how you see the world. Some people notice they become more cautious, less trusting, or feel a loss of hope. Others might feel physical signs like headaches, tension, or exhaustion. This is important to remember. Secondary trauma isn't a sign of weakness. In fact, it's a reflection of empathy and compassion. The very qualities that make someone a good listener, a good friend, or a good crisis counselor also make them vulnerable to the emotional impact of what they're hearing. So how do we protect ourselves? First, by recognizing the signs early. If you notice yourself feeling more irritable, detached, or emotionally exhausted, that's worth paying attention to. Second, by using supports. At Samaritans Southcoast, we have a licensed clinical social worker on retainer to provide critical incident stress management therapy for our staff and our volunteers. We encourage them to talk openly about how they're feeling, whether that's during supervision, in debriefing after a tough call, or informally with a peer. You don't have to carry this alone. Third, by practicing real self-care. Daily practices that keep you grounded. That might be journaling, mindfulness, meditation, exercise, spending time with loved ones, or simply giving yourself permission to rest. Self-care is not selfish. It's survival. And finally, organizations themselves, like Samaritans Southcoast, play a role. Creating a culture that acknowledges secondary trauma, normalizes conversations about it, and provides resources like mental health support is essential. If you're listening and you recognize some of these signs in yourself, know that you are not alone. Helpers need help too. And it's okay to reach out to your peers, to a counselor, or even to 988 if you need someone to talk to. The truth is, being present for others in their darkest moments is some of the most meaningful work we can do. But to continue showing up, we need to take care of ourselves as well. Protecting your own well-being doesn't make you less compassionate. It makes your compassion sustainable. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the 988 Carecast. And remember, take good care of yourselves, take good care of each other, and know that you do not have to carry it all yourself.
When the day feels heavy and the dark clouds start to play, and you're feeling so alone with nothing seeming okay, there's a number shining through, a light to guide your way. Call 988, let hope brighten your day. You might be down, feeling lost or unsure, but a friendly voice is waiting, steady and secure. Resources and listening It's support that's always here. Just 3 numbers away, you're never on your own. Call, text, or chat, no, you're never alone. Whether you stay anonymous or share your name, 24 hours care remains the same. 988 is here to lift the pain. On days when the crowds won't fade and hope feels hard to find, our team will help you find the strength and a clear road to unwind. From a little tap to planning next steps, with warmth that feels so kind. Let 988 remind you, you're precious in heart and mind. When doubts arise and tears may fall, a caring friend is waiting to catch them all. With every call or text, there's support for you, at least a promise of safety and of peace. Just 3 numbers away, you're never on your own. Call, text, or chat and feel the hope you know. Anonymous or by name, the care is always there. 24/7 support, a love that shows it cares. 988's here to lift the pain. In that quiet moment when life seems too hard to bear, remember there's a lifeline, a friend waiting somewhere. Let your voice be heard, let your heart find the way. There's comfort in connecting, let tomorrow greet a brighter day. If your world feels like a whisper and you're lost in the cry, a caring team is standing by, just a call to testify that every moment matters, every tear will soon run dry. With 988, we're together, reach out and fly. Just 3 numbers away, you're never on your own. Call, text, or chat, let the caring tone be known. Names or numbers, it's your choice, all the same. 24 hours round, always here to ease your pain. 988, turning night into brand new means drum. 3 numbers to call and round is to stay. Remember, you're the one your heart is stay. With hope, help, and heart, just to call